Week 3 of Swiss top-tier basketball. We are here in Greyghost. The defending champion Greyghost Sacrifice are 0-2 to start the season. Not the start they would like to have to defend their first and only Swiss top-tier basketball title, but they host the Briarwood Infinity tonight. Briarwood coming off a strong two-game opening. They've slaughtered both opponents so far. They wear green tonight on the road here in Greyghost. We go. The tip-off. One back to Makarov. Makarov solid on both ends of the court in the first 2 weeks. He throws it there back to Davies. Davies charging the basket, tosses it out to CMN. Rips a three ball to start the game, and Montgomery Nelson has the first 3 points on the board for either team. Jackson carrying down the court for the Sacrifice. Kentavious Caldwell Pope, left corner. Going around, trying to find the basket, pushing his weight, and blocked there. It's rebounded by Johnson. Makarov. Denatenius. Up the middle, two-handed slam, and it's 5-0 to start the game for Briarwood. They are dangerous off the jump. Can anyone stop this Briarwood team? Greyghost hoping to get some kind of semblance of their incredible offense last season. But it's a 3-second violation in the paint there, and it goes back the other way. Turnover by Greyghost. Aaron Gordon. Denatenius inbounds to Johnson. Back to Denatenius. He takes it to the basket, and an easy 2. He has 4 points so far. It's 7-0 in favor of the Infinity. Jackson now for Greyghost. Guarded well by Davies. Going to the basket. Able to put it up for the first 2 points on the board. Inbound to Davies. Back to Johnson. Delquarius Johnson taking it to the basket. Single-handed slam. There you see the AT&T 5G slam cam. Delquarius Johnson. The big number 84 from the University of Illinois at Chicago. 9-2. The Sacrifice carrying down the court. Jackson looking to pressure up some offense. Tosses it to Kessler. Walker Kessler throws one in for 2. Cuts the lead down to 5. Inbound to Johnson. Desperate shot for seemingly no reason. He threw it a deep 2 there. And it's rebounded. Caldwell Pope. Back the other way. Great defense by Makarov. He swats it away down low. He takes it himself down the other side. Over to Denatenius. Easy 2 over the head of Kessler. Kessler takes it back the other way. Inbounds to Jackson. 11-4. Deep 2 ball. Unable to go. Rebounded by Denatenius. Down the side to Johnson. Johnson carrying it himself. Fouled on the play. Ball does not roll in the basket. It'll be 2 from the line for Delquarius Johnson. Loud crowd here. He misses the first one. Goes up for the second. This one does fall. So an 8-point lead now for Briarwood. And Kentavious Caldwell Pope carries it down for the Sacrifice. Timeout taken by the Sacrifice. 2.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It is 12-4 in favor of the visiting Briarwood Infinity. There you see some stats for last season. Greyghost, 4th in the top tier in 3-ball. They had such a great offense, especially in that playoff run, led to their first title. Inbound from Braun. Tosses it down to Kessler in the corner. Back to Braun. Jackson now, guarded by Davies. Looking to do something himself. Goes low. Mid-range 2. Nothing going. Rebounded by Denatenius. Tosses it to Makarov. Going back the other way. Drops it to Davies. Davies trying to find some spacing. Throws it over to Johnson. Denatenius on the screen. Johnson takes it himself. Great defense on the play. Nothing going for Briarwood. Rebounded. Now Caldwell Pope back the other way for the Sacrifice. Tosses to Jackson. Guarded by Denatenius. Back to Caldwell Pope. Braun. Gordon. Aaron Gordon, bottom right corner. Toss to Jackson, deep 3. Three ball does not go. Rebounded by Makarov. Briarwood the other way. Johnson tossing to Denatenius. Nobody on him. And a two-handed slam underneath the basket. He has 6 points so far. 8 points, as he's 4 for 4 in field goals. Jackson back the other way. It's a 10-point lead for Briarwood, the largest so far of the game. Gordon, down low, guarded by Denatenius. Significant height difference, and he's not able to get past the 7'4" Lithuanian center. Jason Tatum in the game now for Briarwood. Takes it to the basket himself, and a contended 2 goes in for Jason Tatum. 7 for 9 on field goals are the Briarwood Infinity. Tossing down low to Gordon now, guarded by Tatum. Back to Caldwell Pope, guarded by Johnson at the top of the key. Takes it himself, guarded by Denatenius now. And Denatenius, fantastic defense. It looked like the Sacrifice did not have any clue where they were going, and Caldwell Pope just steps out of bounds underneath the basket. Tatum inbounds to Davies now for the Infinity. Tatum trying to get something done. Tosses back to Christopher. Deep 3. 3 ball does not go, but a rebound by Tatum. Tosses out to Denatenius. Charges the basket himself. Unable to get the basket, but he gets fouled by Kessler in the act of shooting. And it'll be 2 from the line for Dinas Denatenius. First one falls. 13-point lead for the Infinity. More changes on their offense. Second shot is up. Also good. 14-point lead. 18-4 in favor of the visiting Capital City squad. Pickett now for the Sacrifice. Guarded by Christopher. Out to Watson. Takes it himself. Unable to go on the deep 2 ball. Rebounded by Denatenius. Now to Tatum. Johnson. Low ball. Great give-and-go pass there, and Johnson finishes with the layup. 16 remain. It's a 16-point lead as well. 10 on the clock now. Pickett, guarded by Christopher. Isolated, top of the key. Has an open shot. Unable to go, and Denatenius will rip one down the court, but nowhere near the basket as we finish the first quarter 20-4 in favor of Briarwood. They continue their dominance of this top tier this season. We've mentioned in games prior, this Briarwood Infinity team, the only professional sports team in the capital city to have not won a national title in the top tier. Came off an embarrassing semifinal loss on the road last season. Looking to avenge that this year. Great on paper, have been showing very well so far in their on-court presence, especially with that bench pickup of Jason Tatum. Fantastic swat there by Johnson. Denatenius picks up the rebound, and now Williams back the other way for Briarwood. Christopher back to Tatum. Denatenius down low. Easy 2 ball, and it's 22-4 as he now has 10 points. Correction, please. I believe he has 11 points. Has a foul there on the play. Aaron Gordon fouled on the floor. It'll be an inbound for the Sacrifice. Kankar drops it to Gordon, bottom left corner. Top of the key for Watson. Naji rips one to Gordon, top of the key. Guarded well by Johnson. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Forced to go up. And he does. Great 2. Well contested. 22-6. And Christopher goes back the other way for Briarwood. Down low, takes it himself. Unable to go. Contested 2 ball there as well. Picked up by Watson now for the Sacrifice. Great reach by Denatenius on the alley-oop ball. He intercepts, goes back the other way. And Montgomery Nelson with a fantastic finish in the air. 2-handed layup. 24-6, and what a cheat code he is within range. Watson. Over to Holiday, guarded by Denatenius. Gordon from deep, guarded by Johnson, unable to go. Denatenius rebounds. Christopher. Down low, gets the 2 ball contested as well. 20-point lead as Briarwood continues to dominate. Watson. Down low for Kankar. Guarded well by Johnson. Nothing going. Johnson gets the rebound. Tatum. Takes it himself. Well contested, but he gets past Watson for a one-handed layup. 28-6. Watson back the other way, but a timeout called by the Greyghost Sacrifice. Little under 3 minutes to go in this opening half, and it is domination yet again in their third straight game for the Infinity. Braun to inbound. We're here at the Tesla Center in Greyghost. Jackson now with the ball, guarded well by Makarov. Gets around the screen, but Jackson still trying to find room in the basket. Gets spacing there, unable to get the three ball to drop. Rebounded by Johnson. Davies now. Drops it to Tatum. Tatum along the left side. Takes it himself. Up. Unable to get the two to fall, and it's rebounded by Watson. Jackson. Top right-hand side. Gordon down low. Gets it over Tatum. Fantastic two ball, and the lead cut to just 20 now. Makarov. Takes it himself. Nobody guarding, and a one-handed slam for Fyodor Makarov. The big Russian forward out of Nizhny Novgorod. Makes this a 22-point game yet again. Jackson now guarded by Davies. Top of the key for Watson. Guarded by a number of players. Double team now down low. Triple teamed. And that ball does not fall as CMN gets the rebound. Makarov. Well spaced. Takes it himself. Unable to fall, but a rebound by Johnson. Montgomery Nelson. Tatum. Back to Montgomery Nelson. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Tatum. Back to Johnson. Now to Tatum. Going down low. 1 second on the shot clock. Unable to get it out. And a shot clock violation as that one swatted away by the Greyghost Sacrifice. Great defensive playing on both ends of the court so far in this second quarter. A minute and a half remain in the opening half of play. Changes made on the Greyghost side. Gordon is now out. Caldwell Pope comes back in, as does Naji. Inbound to Jackson. Gets past Davies. Takes it himself. Makarov is on him defensively, but nothing going. And the lead cut back down to 20. 30-10. Makarov now. Finding space. Charging Kessler down low. Unable to go. Montgomery Nelson. In isolation. Takes a deep three ball. And that one falls. A three for Charlie Montgomery Nelson. A minute to go, and it's a 23-point lead. Jackson gets past Davies again. Trying to find his spacing. Isolated up top. Drops it down to Kessler, who's guarded well by Makarov. Makarov steals the pass from Kessler. Montgomery Nelson down to Johnson. Johnson takes it himself. Two-handed slam. 35-10. Jackson looking for some momentum going into halftime. Guarded well by Davies. Over to Braun. Braun guarded by Tatum. Gets past him. Montgomery Nelson. Great defense. Rebounded there by Braun. Out to Caldwell Pope. Jackson for three. Unable to go. Picked up by Makarov. 17 on the clock. No shot clock. Tatum. Up top. Screen by Makarov. Give and go. Makarov takes it himself. Finishes off the glass. 6 to play. And it'll lie to Naji, who takes the final shot over Johnson. Well contested, and Tatum picks up the rebound. As we enter halftime, a 27-point lead for Briarwood. Can anybody stop this rush? We return for the second half of play. Here in Greyghost, we are at the Tinder Center, home of the defending champion Greyghost Sacrifice, who are so far 0-2 to start their season. Could it be 0-3? That's the way it's looking. Briarwood Infinity, a fantastic start to their season, 2-0, hoping to make it 3-0, ahead of a great run, hoping to pick up their first national title and avenge their loss in the semifinals last season. We take you back courtside. It'll be ball well in possession of the Sacrifice. Infinity won the tip-off, as we clear the court to start the third quarter of play. Aaron Gordon to inbound for the sacrifice. Tosses it to Jackson. And no doubt there were some words spoken in the locker room to get this team going. Jackson goes up high, unable to go, as Makarov gets another rebound. And now Johnson, out deep, decides to rush inward. Montgomery Nelson slowing down the pace. Screen by Denatenius, picks up Walker. Denatenius down low. Easy one-handed slam. It's 39-10 now. So I believe that's 14 points for Dinas Denatenius. Jackson. For the sacrifice. Goes low. Guarded well by Makarov, but a reach-in foul. Be inbounded by Braun. Tosses down low to Jackson in the left corner, guarded by Davies. Back to Braun. Top of the key for Kessler. Kessler going around Denatenius. Great pickup by Makarov. Caldwell Pope, well guarded by Montgomery Nelson. The battle of the hyphenated last names. Kessler is down low, gets the 2 ball to fall just before the expiration of the shot clock. 39-12. Johnson to Makarov. Makarov takes it himself. Two-handed slam over the top. This lead almost to 30 points. Jackson carries down, now guarded by Davies. Over to Gordon. Guarded by Makarov. Makarov looking to pick up the ball. Gets in the way, and it's fumbled by Gordon, but he gets the ball back, and now Jackson is guarded by Makarov with 5 on the shot clock. Shoots an unbalanced 3, and it's picked up by Montgomery Nelson off the rebound. Makarov slows down the pace. Finds Montgomery Nelson down low. Sidesteps Aaron Gordon, and he gets a 2 ball to fall. Infinity shooting 70%. Greyghost only shooting 25, and no doubt that is why this is a 31-point game, as Briarwood continues their reign of dominance. 3 straight games leading by over 15 points. 2 straight leading well over 20. Davies puts up his first points of the game. 45-12. Gordon over to Jackson. Finds an enemy in Davies. Going after him, charging to the basket, unable to go. Caldwell Pope, guarded by Montgomery Nelson. Gordon, guarded now by Denatenius. Tosses it to Kessler, who does not get that ball to fall, well contested. And now Johnson carries back the other way, takes it himself. Does not get that one to fall, but it's picked up by Makarov. Back to Davies. Davies back to Makarov. Guarded well by Gordon. Montgomery Nelson. Makarov for 3. Well contested 3, in and out, but it's rebounded by Montgomery Nelson. Back to Makarov. Goes up, but he tosses it back to Montgomery Nelson. 5 on the shot clock. Back to Makarov. Down low, Makarov. Easy one-handed slam. Fyodor Makarov, his second highlight play of the game. Little over a minute and a half to play in this third quarter. It's a 35-point lead for Briarwood. Jackson goes up for the alley-oop. Nothing going. Intercepted by Makarov. Davies back the other way. Pulls up. And an easy 2-ball. As he burns Caldwell Pope now. Gordon. Guarded by Makarov. Jackson. Guarded well by Davies. Gets around him, though, and easy 2-handed slam to get some offense going for Greyghost. Crowd still alive, despite the scoreline. Johnson takes it himself for an easy 2 layup as he splits the defenders. Minute to go, 37-point lead. And Briarwood simply running away with things so far this season. Jackson to Gordon. Give and go to Braun. Back to Jackson. Their offensive fundamentals are there. They are doing a great job with their weave up at the top of the top of the key. They just can't get anything to fall, specifically those two balls when they're well contested by guys over 6'8". One of these being Montgomery Nelson, who takes it to the basket himself and just tosses it up before he hits the paint. He is so good from inside the key. And it's nearly a 40-point lead. 1 second separate the shot and game clock. Both down to 15 now. Jackson out to Braun. Double teamed. Picked up by Jackson. Davies taking it himself the other way. And there it is, a 41-point lead. As with seconds winding down, Gordon takes the final shot of the quarter. And Denatenius picks up the rebound to end 3 quarters of domination by the Briarwood Infinity. 41-point lead. And you have to believe that the Tesla Center is starting to dwindle in attendance, as there you see fans heading for the exits. There you see the assist of the game, Johnson, over to Makarov, where he puts up a highlight play. The bench squad in for Briarwood. Lofton Jr. tosses into Tatum. Jason Tatum. Expensive contract, not quite as much as his one with Boston, but more than they were willing to offer him to extend his so far very successful career for the Celtics back in the United States. Like many athletes we've seen specifically in association football, there's money to be made in the Swiss leagues with all these sponsorships going on right now. Fantastic work being done by our Ministry of Sport. Tatum puts both of them up, and it's a 43-point lead. 57-14. Watson going the other way for the sacrifice. Over to Naji. Naji for the wide open 3. Can't get that ball to go. Christopher drops to Tatum. Tatum takes it himself. Unable to fall off the left-handed 2, and a timeout taken by the sacrifice. 4.5 to go in this game. Not a lot of hope left for the home team. A lot of empty seats here in Greyghost. The fans who are still here, their luck, or rather their passion, starting to go out just a little bit. They will very likely finish this game 0-3 and well out of immediate contention to defend their title going into the playoffs this season. Gordon, guarded well by Johnson, unable to get that one to fall. It's rebounded by Montgomery Nelson. Christopher pulls up, decides not to shoot. Quick screen there by Johnson. Johnson down low, gets the one-handed slam as he burns the defense. Inbound to Watson. 45-point game. Lackadaisical defense by Christopher. Konkar back and forth with Gordon now. He decides to charge the basket around Tatum. Johnson gets a hand in there, but he's called for a reach-in foul. And the first team foul of the quarter is on the floor yet again for Briarwood. Naji. Inbounds to Walker Kessler. Naji. Slightly contested 3, doesn't get that one to fall. Rebounded by Williams. Back to Tatum. Screen coming. Unsuccessful by Johnson. Johnson has the ball, though. Puts it up, unable to go as he spins the 180, and now it's Aaron Gordon back the other way. Konkar. Guarded by Christopher. Watson, top of the key. Down low to Walker Kessler. Guarded by Tatum. Gets the left-handed hook shot to fall, and it's a 43-point lead now. As that deficit is just slightly cut, and Tatum goes back the other way now to Lofton Jr., who takes it himself in the basket, not able to fall either. Kessler to Watson. Double teamed now. Open is Konkar. Takes a deep 3 and gets one to fall. And that is the first 3 to fall for this squad in a very long time. Tatum now, guarded by Gordon. Lead cut to just 40 points. Toss it over to Williams. Killing time at the top of the key. He gets a screen from Lofton Jr., who puts one up over Walker Kessler. That one does fall. Kenny Lofton tosses that one in for 2. 2 minutes remain, and Kankar takes it down the court, guarded by Williams. Burns Williams on the defense. Does not get that one to fall. Tatum. Back the other way. Johnson. Going down low, takes it himself. One-handed hook. Off the glass, and 63-19, as it's a 44-point lead. Watson. Guarded by Christopher. Kessler down low, well defended. Gets his own rebound. Another great defensive play by Johnson, swatted away as Kessler fails to make a basket on 2 straight shots. The easy squad's in for both teams now. Kessler gets one down low. Lofton Jr. inbounds to Tatum. Roddy sees his first few minutes of play in this game. Tosses it back to Tatum. Back to Roddy. Trying to go around Gordon. Back to Tatum. 6 on the shot clock. Tatum deep, too. And he gets that one to fall. Fantastic. Fadeaway jumper from the corner of the box. Caldwell Pope back in the game now. Guarded by Williams. Takes it himself. Fouled on the play by Lofton Jr. Greyghost, very few trips to the line in this game. Caldwell Pope swishes the first one. Drills the second one, and it's 65-23 now. Tatum. Back the other way. Laravia. His first touches of the ball in this one. Has it, decides to shoot it himself, and he gets that one to fall as he spins over Aaron Gordon. Minute to play. Jackson. Guarded by Christopher. Down to Gordon. Spins and fires over Laravia. Does not get that one to fall as lucky as his opponent did. Down low to Lofton Jr. As he is in a jump ball scrum with his defender. And a questionable defensive play by Greyghost as we have a jump ball with a 44-point deficit and only 31 seconds remaining. But Greyghost does win it back to Gordon. Now Jackson has the ball. And I'm not sure where the urgency is coming from for the sacrifice, but they cut the lead to just 42 now. Into Christopher. Can wait out the clock here. It's looking like he will do so. Tosses it over to Laravia. 10 on the clock. Back to Lofton. 7. As he will wait this one out. Maybe take a final second basket. He does. Deep 3 ball does not fall. And it's 67-25. The final score from Greyghost as the Sacrifice are 0-3 now to defend their championship season. And the titleless Briarwood Infinity 3-0, well at the top of the table in Swiss top-tier basketball. This has been week 3. We join you next week. We are back at Midco Arena as the Briarwood Infinity are set to take on Listelli next week. We will see you then very, very soon.